Look at this car, everybody. Look at it. Look at this. Look at that. Okay, now if you didn't see the title of this video, how much would you think this car costs here? Well, I asked a lot of my friends. I went around, I was just like, hey, look at this car. How much do you think I paid for this? I mean, my sister said 7,000. I think my other friends said, you know, 5,000 or 6,000. And I tell them, nope. Got this bad mamma jamma for $1,750 for a luxury gig. So I'll give you a whole story. This was sold to me by one of my friends. He told me to plug his Instagram, so bam, there it is. Go look at him. Anyway, started having some issues with this car. The steering was getting really tight in random spots. It's got a bunch of dash lights on. It's got over 180,000 miles on it. It's a 2011 Audi A4. So, you know, it looks really nice and it looks fancy, but hey, it's a 2011 Audi with 180,000 miles on it. You know, that's when you start to get a little bit iffy with repair costs and cost to upkeep. Trade-in value on this was, I believe, $2,000, and he told me I could have it for $2,000. So I went and I drove it around, and we ended up settling at $1,750. I should be able to turn a little profit on it. We're gonna have to do some work to it, but hey, I just also wanted to have, you know, I've never had a Audi before, and this one, how can you turn down? It's got the manual, it's got the leather, she's top of the line, it's got the sunroof. I gotta clean this stuff out. I mean, he's a fan of Monster Energy and Fairlife milk, apparently. So this one's got some dings, scratches here and there. It's missing the rear view mirror. It's got some rust on the old rockers, but hey, it's Vermont, it is what it is. We're just gonna leave that. You can see he did some touch-up paint on the bug splatter up here. Doesn't look terrible. Rust on that side. This side's got a bunch of dents and creases. Once we're done with this, it should be a $3,000 or $4,000 car. Should be able to make a little bit of money. A little, you know, a little tiny bit. So here you go. He probably didn't mean to leave this for me to see, but he did, so I'll show you. You can see White River Toyota here is looking at buying a new car for this. So they offered him for the trade-in, net trade $1,000. So my $1,750 for this car is, hey, $750 more than he would have got for the trade-in. So I'm happy. I'm sure Will is happy enough with that. So booyah, I'll just keep on cleaning her out for now. All right, so I got the interior, you know, kind of picked up. Still haven't brushed it down or anything. I got the rear view mirror back on. It just clips in. And it was sitting in the back seat back there. So boom shakalaka. Oh, it looks like I should remove his easy pass just in case. I'll keep on cleaning this out. Well, let's go ahead and take it for a spin, see how she handles, see how she accelerates after 180,000 miles. Interesting thing is this is a 2009 and this is a 2011. And I mean, this, first of all, my sister's driving it, so beware, there's gonna be a giant mess. That's the interior of a 2009 Chevy Cobalt. And then the interior of a 2011 Audi A4. So it doesn't look like there's just 2 years difference. It looks like there's like a 10-year difference. But in Chevy's defense, this was designed, I think, 05, and this was designed in either 2010 or 2011. So really there is more of a difference. And then this lasted all the way to like 2014. But even so, even with this one looking so much more advanced, I would still take the Chevy. I mean, my heart always lies with Chevy. Plus the Cobalt is a tried and true, although this one's not doing so bad itself right now. All right, ladies and gents, we're gonna take it for a little test drive. This is the key. Just kind of slides in the slot here, put in the brake and the clutch, and that's how you start it. Kind of interesting. So the warning lights we have on are traction control, ABS, and then sometimes it says there's a third brake light fault, which I don't know why it says that. No, parking brake malfunction. I don't know why it says that either, because the parking brake works and the third brake light works. I guess there's a tire pressure system malfunction too. That's not surprising. That always happens because they just run out of batteries. And there you go. Center brake light just beeped at me. So I'm guessing the ABS and traction control are from a wheel sensor. Third brake light and parking brake, I don't know what those are because those two actually both work. And then the tire pressure sensor would be a battery or something. Anyway, put her in reverse. The reverse camera used to work, but now apparently it doesn't. I don't know why that is. We'll head out of here. It does have parking sensors. So basically, I'll tell you now, the one of the reasons he sold it to me cheap was because the steering is tight in random spots. So it will randomly, not randomly, it's always at the same spot, but it just gets a little bit tighter on that. And I had a Toyota Tundra that did the same thing, and that ended up being the steering rack. However, I did some research on this, and a lot of people say, there goes my tripod. Sorry my tripod fell there, but basically what I was saying was the Tundra, when I had that, it was the steering rack, and ended up being pretty expensive for me to replace that. But in this car, I looked it up, and a lot of people said they just flushed the power steering fluid and lubricated the bushings and everything, and it fixed it totally. So it could just be dirty power steering fluid, because a lot of people actually were having this with the car on the forums I was reading. So we're just gonna, in the next video, in the repair video, I'm just gonna do a full power steering fluid flush and then lubricate all the moving pieces of it, and we'll see if that fixes it, because if that doesn't, then power steering rack is pretty expensive. So we're on pavement now. Driving that car in the dirt feels pretty tight. Like I said, Will and whoever owned the car before Will, they seem to keep up with their maintenance a little bit. Otherwise the suspension would be a lot looser and there would be a lot more play in the steering. Because I mean, look at it. I mean, it's tight. Woo! And the suspension doesn't knock or anything. Just probably by the end of its life, they stopped putting money into this car, which I don't blame them for. But it does drive well. I'll go find a little place to do a 0 to 60 test just for fun. We'll do that. And yeah, my dad has been driving this car around a little bit. He was having some troubles with his vehicle, so I let him borrow this, and he enjoyed it. My sister drove it a little bit too. So yeah, it's definitely a good little car. Just got to fix that steering issue and maybe a couple of cosmetic things, although really doesn't need too much cosmetically. But you know, we'll fix the steering issue next video, and should be good to go. Alright, so hopefully my tripod doesn't fall. I have a feeling it's gonna. I'll hold it a little bit. But we'll do a 0 to 60 test. Just for fun. What do you think launch control is? 3 grand? Put it at 3 grand. Oh, there she goes. There's 60 for you. And my tripod did fall, unfortunately. Well, maybe you saw that, maybe you didn't. But there you go. That was fast. This is gotta be the sportiest car I've owned. I've had a Camaro and a Mustang. Sorry about my tripod. I've had a Camaro and a Mustang. Both fun cars, but both were old and not this fast, and definitely didn't handle this well. Sorry my tripod fell for you folks. It's really hard to make it stay upright, but I'll do it here and hold it in my hand. Might just be hard for me to shift. Here we go. Rev it up to 4. There we go. All right, that's enough beating on this poor car. But anyway, that's quick. I'll put the time stamp down below. So, nice test drive. Car definitely drives really nice. One thing I noticed though, I came back and I wanted to check the oil level, see if I'd burned anything at the time I'd done it. But Audi, in their infinite genius, doesn't let you check the oil level. So they don't even have an oil dipstick, and they don't have an oil pressure gauge in the cab, so you can't tell, you know, what pressure you're at. Hopefully it's at least got a low oil warning light if it goes, you know, like most cars have that if it goes below 5 psi or something, but that can be pretty damaging to the engine. So, but of course, you know, the Germans are what the Germans are. so they don't have one. But in the video where I do the repairs on this car, I'll also do the oil change then, just to make sure we're all good. It does have a sticker on it that says good till 183, so should still be good, but we'll do another change. Thanks for watching this video, guys. Excited to have a new Audi. Definitely the sportiest car I've owned, like I said. Only the second or third, no, third, I think third German car I've had, because 2 VWs before this, and those were both absolute junk. So hopefully this one's better. Thank you for watching. We'll see if we can fix her up. I'll see you next time.